Cuba? At first glance, you see a blue sky, a beautiful beach, a pretty nice city. However, the Cuban people are going through immense hardship in order to survive. Literally eating a piece of meat in Cuba today is a luxury. That's what we'll be talking about today, about those Cubans who don't receive dollars and therefore can't shop at supermarkets. What is their life like? We will discuss the well-known supply booklet that many have inquired about and converse with other Cubans to learn more about their reality. Stay tuned for an insightful video. Hello, my loves! I hope you are doing great today. You may notice I have less energy than usual. We Cubans are suffering from horrible power outages that last for hours on end. All over the country, it's everywhere. And well, this is a little bit, people are a little, of course, dissatisfied. Many people are not sleeping well. We are not living well. In short, why tell you if the reality is that we are not living well here? We are living the truth, going through a lot of work here in Cuba. If you don't know me, my name is Anita Mateo and I am Cuban. And I make YouTube videos about life in Cuba, how we Cubans live. And that's why I invite you down there here to subscribe in that little red button so you don't miss a video, because I upload videos every Friday and very interesting things that you are surely curious to know about Cuba. Without further ado, let's get to the point. Today's video is going to be about how people who don't receive dollars live, how they can buy food, how they can buy basic necessities. As you know, supermarkets, the supermarket that is normal in your country, and you with your salary, with your country's currency, you go and buy it. Here in Cuba, it's not like that. Here in Cuba, you have to have foreign currency to be able to buy it. And obviously, in our jobs, they pay us with Cuban peso. So how do those Cubans who don't have access to that currency manage? In this video, I'll explain how stores in MLC came about. First, let me clarify what MLC is. MLC is a virtual currency that consists of a card that they give us. And into this card, foreign currencies are deposited from abroad, or we buy them here in Cuba, in the informal market, on the street, in the black market, whatever you want to call it. And well, that's how we can buy some basic necessity products and services here in Cuba. And it's obvious that not everyone has access to these. So how did this MLC come about? It emerged at the end of 2019. They first started with only appliance stores. I remember they sold refrigerators, air conditioners, that kind of equipment only at the beginning, supposedly to capture the dollars that were leaving the country and keep them here in the country so that people wouldn't go to third countries to buy their equipment because they didn't sell them here. And so they created these stores so that the dollars would stay here. In 2021, there were economic changes here in Cuba with the so-called task of ordering, and this market expanded to shoes, clothes, food, cleaning, everything. Today, there are MLC stores everywhere. Almost all stores are MLC. There are very few state stores left that are not in MLC. The main objective of this MLC currency was to use it in function of the development of the national market according to the official media of Cuba, and maintain a stable level of offers in Cuban pesos. But the reality is that these stores are a cause of discontent for most of the population, because as if you are being paid at your job a salary in Cuban pesos, you are going to have to buy food in a foreign currency, depending on the relative of the foreigner, what they send you. And of course, not all Cubans have family abroad. It's a bit incomprehensible, but well, here in Cuba, nobody agrees with that. Nobody understands it, but well. Now, what happens to those people who don't have a relative abroad? Well, they can open their account in MLC and buy it from a random person on the street. In other words, I can tell a relative or a person to start a business, as there are businesses. They send me money and I sell it. I sell it to people who perhaps don't have a family abroad. They send that MLC so that those people can buy on the street. But imagine that in the formal market, the multiple listing service is 24 pesos. That is, the multiple listing service is like saying the United States dollar. It's very similar because they can recharge the card in dollars, in euros, in Canadian dollars, in any currency. Well, the one they have established that can be, and then in the market, Formally, one multiple listing service equals 24 pesos, but informally, the MLC is around 115. That is much more expensive. Imagine if the average salary of a Cuban is 3,400 pesos, more or less $34 a month, and you are going to buy MLC at 100 pesos. You could only buy with your salary. 34 freely convertible currency, well less than 34 freely convertible currency. And buying food and basic things like a bit of chicken. You have seen my videos where I go to the supermarkets, as this is reality. Buying a package of chicken, maybe a little bit of coffee, maybe detergent and little things like that already take more than $34 from you. It's impossible to live off your salary, that's the truth. Many young people like me no longer want to work for the state and prefer private jobs. What happens to those who can't even afford the MLC because their salary is insufficient? Imagine a mother, a family that has 5 people, and maybe 1 or 2 work. There are people, honestly, and in fact that I know who can't buy the MLC, who buy everything on the street. So how do these people get by?
Let's talk about food, because the truth is that Cubans spend the most money on food. We don't afford the luxury of buying clothes or shoes or anything because food already covers everything. Well,
I present to you the ration book of supply. Every Cuban family nucleus, or almost every Cuban family nucleus, has this little book that I'm going to show you well, and I'm going to explain. What the supply book consists of was created in 1962 as a new distribution system for certain food resources. And price control on the island. The basic food quota is distributed by the state. To each person through this booklet is the cheapest price. Although the value of this food group has increased since January 2021 and varies across the country and from month to month, little remains of Cuba's first food ration booklet. Increasingly, the number of regulated products has been decreasing until it is reduced to the bare minimum. They provide rice and grains. I don't have grains listed for January, but I do for February. Let's see, it's not that they give, you have to pay for it. The groceries usually cost between 100 and something pesos for one person. That is, I as one person pay 100 pesos, a little bit more than 100 pesos. Oil, sugar, no applesauce, they give applesauce to mothers who had babies. Salt, coffee, matches, and well, here, I really don't understand anything it says here. I'm going to show you now the groceries I bought. And well, here you can basically see the groceries I received this month. I, as a person, this is the amount of piece of bread they give you daily per person. You can see here the quality of the little bread. This small amount of oil is sold to you, not given. This is the little bit of oil that they give for one person. The amount of rice, this is honestly a little bit more. As you could see, it's not a large amount, and that's for the entire month. How do we buy more things if the stores are in dollars? How do people who have dollars buy food? Well, let's explain that right now. Here in Cuba, these little points used to exist. You can see how deteriorated it is today. It's horrible. But well, in the past, they used to sell the things they sold in a supermarket. Detergent, oil, meats. But that after coronavirus disease 2019, this great crisis disappeared, and you can see how destroyed it is. Now, how does this work? I mean, it still works, but in terrible conditions. And how it works, this one, for example, is in my neighborhood. And then sometimes oil comes in, for example, but only 20 bottles of oil come in. So according to this number, look, here I have the number, you will see the 613. If 20 bottles of oil come in, and they are going to give from number 1 to 20, those people are the ones who buy the oil. I couldn't buy the oil. It wasn't enough for me. I have to wait for the oil to come back in for me to be able to buy it. And it's in the area where I say I can't go to a little spot in another area. In another area, those from that area buy. I buy in this area. So that's how it's working now. These products sometimes include chicken, sometimes oil. People line up for hours just to buy chicken or oil. It's heartbreaking to witness. Despite the numerous problems in Cuba, this truly saddens me, Anita. You always have a smile. The truth is, yes, I always try to have a smile because I'm not a bitter person. But sometimes there are things that depress you, that make you sad because you know that you and your whole family are going through the same thing. And well, people in general, to buy for example, food, vegetables, and such, there are these street vendors that I have shown you other times. Here you can see people buying what they have on offer. Sometimes they are few. Right now they are scarce. Now there are very few vegetables. But well, this is how we Cubans buy vegetables and viands. To buy meat, for example, you know that in the MLC dollar stores, they also do not sell fresh meat. They do not sell much variety. There is barely chicken, minced meat, ham. Those are the things that sell the most. We also buy pork meat from people. This man, for example, sells it on the street. He there in that little stand sells his meat, and well, there it is. Arrive quickly, arrive early to be able to take a piece of meat, to be able to eat a little bit of pork. And as you can see, the price is extremely expensive. The pound of pork meat, 280 pesos. Remember, the salary of a Cuban is more or less $34 in the equivalent to dollars. So if you buy pork meat, that 280 pesos are $2.8. If you buy 2 or 3 pounds, practically half of your salary goes. It's a thing, it's practically a luxury to eat pork meat in this country. Beef is another that is lost. I haven't eaten beef for years. I can't find beef. And well, it's a little bit, so you know this reality.
Look, this was the meat that...
We bought 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds, right? It boils down to what we bought for almost 1,000 pesos. There are also private butcher shops like this one that I'm going to be showing you. El Corte Inglés is located on a central street in Matanzas. And you can see, look, I'm going to show you the offers, the things they sell, of course, at prices that are not affordable for most. Now, what happens to people who need to buy detergent, need to buy shampoo, and don't have dollars? They don't have dollars. Some people spend their dollars and buy in bulk. Some even go to Havana to purchase products because they are usually more available there compared to here. Other provinces have fewer offers and products. You can find small houses like the one I'll show you, where people resell products only available in dollars from their porches. Right now here in Cuba, everything becomes more expensive. Life here in Cuba, everything is expensive. Everything, practically buying a toilet paper is expensive. Another common way Cubans acquire food, clothes, and footwear is through Facebook groups created for buying and selling. People post on these groups looking for clothes, footwear, and other items they need. They also post these publications where they have chicken, where they have food, and you write to them, and well, if you can afford to buy, you can buy it because sometimes they don't have a lot of quantity and then it disappears. Here I am with Amanda, one of my best friends, and my aunt. Both are mothers. Let's see, do you receive dollars? From time to time. Aunt, do you receive dollars? Have you ever bought MLC?
Never in.
But to show you that there are many people here who can't buy, not every month or every week can buy in dollars. Then how do you buy the chicken and those things like the breast, the chicken, the sergeant?
Resellers purchase items from the MLC store and resell them at significantly higher prices. And
Then
I have to buy from them in the end because I don't receive the MLC.
I have no choice. It's like a tightly packed box of chicken. 5,500 pesos for a box of chicken.
I mentioned the other one on Facebook in the video already.
Oh, the others that sell a lot are combos because you can't with the combos because imagine, no, they are very expensive. A combo is, I don't know, and the detergent, aunt.
Do you buy everything by
Today, everything.
I buy from resellers. The detergent package costs me 700 pesos, the 250 grams one. The chicken, depending on the weight, costs me from 1,500 to over 2,000 pesos. The seasoned minced meat pack costs me 170 pesos. The sausage costs 170 pesos. And when
You find it? Because she hasn't bought for a while now.
Yes, of course. That
is when
appears by
For example, now,
the packages of chicken I have not found.
on the street and the other.
Let's see, and my aunt is a teacher. What is your salary?
4.753.
A little bit more so that they can see the reality of other people other than me. And well, gentlemen, that's it for today's video. I hope it has informed you, that it has made you know a little bit more about the reality of the Cuban who can't buy with dollars. And here in Cuba, practically everything is in dollars. The clothes, the shoes, the food, the cleaning, everything. So you can see that The Cuban who doesn't have dollars is the one who struggles the most. If you like this video, if it informed you, I hope you give me a like and subscribe down there in a little red button that helps me a lot. I love you very much, and I am very happy for all those who join me every Friday in a new video. And here I leave you my smile, because despite everything, I will never lose it, because I am going to keep fighting, no matter the circumstances of the place where I was born. The important thing is to keep fighting for your dreams and for one day improving. So I send you a big kiss and I love you, and see you in the next video.